When Fog Woman Made the First Salmon, retold by Margaret Johnston, illustrated by Donna Stackhouse. Once in a far northern land where rivers ran sparkling and cold, no salmon yet splashed in the streams, in the bays, or in the wind-tossed sea, the Tlingit Indians who lived on this land and fished in its waters found only a poor fare of cod, sculpin, and now and again a herring or halibut. Raven, a mythical adventurer, sometimes represented as an Indian man, sometimes as a bird or in another form, lived with the Indians in this northern land. One day, Raven and his two servants paddled his canoe out into the bay to fish. Soon heavy fog settled in, and Raven lost his way. Suddenly the ghostly mist began to clear from Raven's canoe, and he saw a shadowy woman, lovely as a dream. "I am Daughter of Fog," she said. "Give me your spruce root hat." She turned Raven's hat upside down, and waving her slender arm, she pulled all the fog into the hat, where it disappeared. Soon the sun shone again. Like the sun, Raven's heart burned with love for Daughter of Fog. He took her to his camp alongside a stream that rippled down to the bay. Soon Raven and Fog Woman married. For 3 moons the couple lived in harmony, but Raven grew tired of his quiet life. One morning he slipped away from camp and paddled upriver. Fog Woman, angry at Raven's sudden absence, called to a servant, "Bring me Raven's spruce root hat and fill it with water from the freshwater stream." When the servant brought the water, Fog Woman dipped a finger into it and said, "Pour it out toward the sea." The servant obeyed, and immediately on the ground where he had poured the water, there flopped a new kind of fish, a salmon. Fog Woman said to the frightened servant, "Hurry and cook it. We must eat it before the Raven returns, lest he discover my powers." The servant followed Fog Woman's command, and soon they feasted on the salmon. Later, when Raven came home, he noticed a bit of red-colored meat between the servant's teeth. He stormed until the servant confessed that Fog Woman had created a salmon. Raven grumbled to Fog Woman, "What is this delicacy you hide from me?" But Fog Woman would say only, "I will go upstream and return on the 4th rising of the sun. While I am away, you must build a large smokehouse." She vanished. Raven scowled, but a strange force drove him to obey his wife's orders. By the time the sun disappeared for the 3rd time, he had finished the smokehouse. On the 4th dawning, when the sun peeked over the edge of the earth and slanted its rays toward the heavens, Fog Woman returned. Upon seeing the smokehouse, a smile, fleeting as a moonbeam, parted her pale lips. She waved her hand toward the bay and the stream, and bid Raven search in the water for salmon. Raven stared in awe as darting salmon leaped and splashed over each other in the foaming water. Jubilant, he began scooping up the fish. By the time the sun had journeyed 3 times across the heavens, Raven and Fog Woman had caught, cleaned, dried, smoked, and stored a winter's supply. For a time, Raven and Fog Woman were happy. Before long, though, Raven boasted of his wealth and angrily denied to all that Fog Woman had created the salmon. Raven began to mistreat Fog Woman. One day he struck her with the backbone of a salmon, and the sharp spines pierced her side. She cried out in pain, a cry sad as the sound of the wind moaning through the forest. She ran toward the sea. Raven raced after her. Again and again he reached out for her. Each time she slipped through his arms like fog, and she floated out over the sea. Raven watched sadly as his wife disappeared. Then he heard a curious sound. He spun around and gasped in disbelief. The salmon he and Fog Woman had dried suddenly came to life, flopping down to the sea and into the water. Raven screamed in fury. He scrambled to catch the tumbling salmon. Over and over they slithered from his grasp. The smoked salmon also came alive, streaming from the smokehouse and joining the strange procession of fish following Fog Woman out to sea. Raven stood frozen in shock. Now he was poor again. He would have no salmon, only his former fare of cod, sculpin, and now and again a herring or halibut. Raven wailed in despair. Fog, thick as storm clouds, settled over his camp, and his cries were lost in the mist. It is said that soon after the day when all the salmon followed Fog Woman out to sea, Fog Woman's many daughters, the women of the creek, went to live at the head of each freshwater stream. They still live there today, and because Fog Woman created salmon in a freshwater stream, salmon return from the sea every year and fight their way to the headwaters of these streams for one last look at the women of the creek, before they spawn and die. Question number 8. Read the following sentences from the story. For a time, Raven and Fog Woman were happy. Before long, though, Raven boasted of his wealth and angrily denied to all that Fog Woman had created the salmon. What does this suggest about Raven and Fog Woman? A. Raven will create another type of fish out of anger toward Fog Woman. B. There will be problems in their relationship. C. Raven and Fog Woman will remain happy. Fog Woman will create another type of fish out of anger toward Raven. Question number 9. If this story were narrated from Raven's point of view, A. We would better understand his feelings toward Fog Woman. B. We would better understand Fog Woman's feelings toward him. C. We would better understand why salmon were created. D. We would understand Raven's servants' feelings better. Question 10. Read the following sentence. Raven wailed in despair. This indicates that Raven's feelings are A. Positive, B. Negative, C. Neutral, or D. Non-existent. Question 11. Which of the following is one of the main ideas of the passage? A. Daughter of Fog demanded Raven's spruce root hat. B. Salmon can be smoked and stored for later consumption. C. Raven magically created Fog Woman. D. Fog Woman magically created a fish called salmon. Question 12. Read the following sentence from the passage. Once in a far northern land where rivers ran sparkling and cold, no salmon yet splashed in the streams, in the bays, or in the wind-tossed sea. How does this beginning sentence connect with the rest of the story's plot? A. It is closely related to the spruce root hat introduced later in the story. B. It hints at the marriage between Raven and Fog Woman. C. It suggests that salmon may play an important role in the story. D. It indicates that there may be a sad or tragic ending to the story. Next question. What can you infer is special about Fog Woman? A. She has magical powers. B. She can travel back in time. C. She has an exceptional memory for names and faces. Or D, she is always in control of her emotions. Last question. Read the following sentence from the passage. For 3 moons the couple lived in harmony, but Raven grew tired of his quiet life. From this sentence you can tell that Raven is A. Humble, B. Humorous, C. Restless, or D. Violent.